Right now, somewhere in your pocket, it's buzzing. Or it isn't, and that's worse. You reach for it anyway. You didn't decide to. Your hand just moved. You'll do this dozens of times today and remember almost none of it. That should bother you more than it does. Because the real answer isn't apps, or notifications, or bad willpower. The real answer is far stranger. It's living in a piece of your brain that's 300,000 years old. Your brain wasn't built for smartphones. It was built on the savanna, in small bands that depended on two things: finding food and knowing what everyone else in the group was doing. Both systems are still running. You just gave them a screen. Food never came in predictable amounts. A hunt might fail 9 times and succeed on the 10th. Nobody could tell. And that uncertainty, it turns out, is exactly what makes a behavior addictive. In the 1950s, B.F. Skinner ran pigeons through a lever experiment. A lever that released food every time made them press calmly. A lever that released food only sometimes, unpredictably, made them press obsessively. He called it variable reinforcement, and it produced the most compulsive behavior he could create. Your phone is that lever. Sometimes you pull it and there's nothing. Sometimes there's something that makes your whole day better. You never know which. That's what keeps your thumb moving. But food wasn't the only thing your ancestors foraged for. They foraged for information about each other. A human cut off from the group was as good as dead. No claws, no fangs, just alliances. So the brain evolved a constant hunger to know who's angry, who's planning what, who might help you. The anthropologist Robin Dunbar spent decades studying this. He found human brains grew larger mainly to track relationships, not tools or hunting. And he noticed something else. Hunter-gatherers spent huge chunks of the day on what looks like idle chatter. Gossip. He argued gossip wasn't wasted time. It was how a group with no written records tracked trust and threat. Survival information, disguised as small talk. Now look at your phone. Every notification is a tiny piece of gossip. Someone liked something. Someone's online. Your ancient brain can't tell the difference between a whispered alliance shift and a red notification bubble. It reads both the same way. Information about your standing that you cannot afford to ignore. There's a third piece. You don't just check your phone for rewards, you check it for the gap itself. In the 1990s, economist George Loewenstein described curiosity as an information gap. The moment you sense there's something you don't know, your brain treats that gap like an itch. Closing it, even with something trivial, feels like relief. That little red dot isn't unimportant information waiting. It's an open loop your brain is wired to close fast. Because for most of human history, an unclosed gap could mean a predator you didn't notice. Here's the unsettling part. All three systems, the food reward loop, the social hunger, the information gap itch, were calibrated for scarcity. Your ancestors might get one piece of real social information a day. You now get hundreds of pings. The machinery hasn't changed in 300,000 years. The fuel supply has increased 1,000-fold. Researcher John Cacioppo spent his career studying loneliness. He found constant low-level contact, exactly what your phone offers, doesn't satisfy the ancient hunger for belonging. It's about the felt quality of connection, not the quantity of pings. 100 shallow notifications a day can leave you just as hungry as isolation, sometimes hungrier because you keep sensing life happening around you that you're never fully inside of. So you check the phone. The gap closes for a second. Then a new one opens. That's not a flaw in your character. That's a 150-person survival brain trying to monitor 8 billion people, using a system built for a handful of berries a week. Notice where this shows up. In a meeting, your hand drifting to your lap. In bed, one more scroll in the dark. At dinner, a buzz that suddenly feels more urgent than the person talking in front of you. None of that is about the content on the screen. It's an ancient alarm that can't tell a real threat from a stranger's opinion about a movie. So right now, somewhere in your pocket, it's buzzing. Or it isn't, and that's the part that should catch your attention. That pull you feel, the reach you didn't decide to make, was never about the notification. It's a 300,000-year-old system, still standing watch, still convinced there's something out there you cannot afford to miss. It was right once. Whether it's right now is up to you to decide.